Today we'll try to finish the topic of vitamins and minerals. So you have only trace elements left. Trace elements में बहुत सारे आते हैं. We'll only discuss some of them because again I'll go on for a long period of time. It is just facts about elements. That's not something that we need to understand a lot. Only one of them is slightly complicated. बस वो आयरन एक डिटेल में करेंगे वह है ये पूरे. Briefly we'll try to finish. So first of all we have fluorine. Now, fluorine or fluoride is normally occurring in your body as calcium salts. You will find calcium fluoride and different combinations of calcium along with fluorine, and it is responsible for reduction in tooth decay. It decreases tooth decay. It is also responsible for normal health of your bones. Okay. Tooth enamel is made more resistant to the action of acids which are produced in your mouth by bacteria by fluoride. So अगर fluoride present नहीं है, so what happens is the bacteria that is producing acid in your mouth will start damaging the enamel and will start damaging the teeth of your body or your teeth essentially. Now, fluoride is also involved in maintaining the bone structure and making sure your bones are nice and strong. Without fluoride, what will happen is without fluoride and without vitamin D, generally the patient will suffer from osteoporosis. So you can put it in another way. Even if you want to treat osteoporosis, you use a combination of fluorine and vitamin D. So you want to treat a patient with very soft bones, osteoporosis, porous bones जिसको बोलते हैं. In that scenario, you will add fluorine in the patient's treatment along with vitamin D. Now, if you look at the daily requirement of fluorine, most of fluorine that you get is from water. Okay, your water will have more than enough amount. Drinking water will have more than enough amount of fluorine. If you want to look for food that different foods that will have fluorine, there is fish, cheese, tea. All of these are rich in fluorine. Okay. Now coming to effects of deficiency, what will happen in case of fluorine deficiency? First of all, there will be dental fluorosis. So fluoride in general is a double-edged sword because if there is, let's suppose you consume large amounts of fluorine, if there is very high amounts of fluorine, that is bad. Inadequate amount of fluorine is also bad. Okay. Let us suppose you consume very high amounts of fluorine, it will cause dental and skeletal fluorosis. And if there is inadequate amount of fluorine, it will cause dental caries. Okay. Both of which are bad. In case of dental fluorosis, generally occurs in young children. Okay, it is a problem of their teeth. So teeth lose their shiny appearance. ये teeth है, okay. Teeth will lose their shiny appearance, and what will happen is you will see chalky patches, chalky white patches on your teeth. So you can clearly demarcate small patch like development on the teeth. These are called mottled enamel. Okay, this is called. It will look as if your teeth has stains on it, whitish stains. So you will be able to demarcate them because certain areas will be shining, some areas will not be shining. Okay, it'll look like patches. This is an early sign of dental fluorosis. Over time, what will happen is teeth will become very weak. There might be brown stains that appear. If over time, if there is very high concentration of fluoride, sometimes dark brown stains will appear on the enamel. And mostly mottling, ये जो mottled enamel है, mottling will appear. Mottling बोलते हैं उसको. That phenomenon is called mottling, wherein the patches are appearing. Mottling will appear on the incisors of your upper jaw most commonly. Skeletal fluorosis भी हो सकता है. This will occur in older people. Skeletal fluorosis में bones, tendons and ligaments are affected. There will be fluorine excessively accumulating in those areas. Okay, and it will create a problem. There will be pain in joints, especially pain and stiffness in the back and joints of your limb and neck. Those will have a lot of pain because of excessive accumulation of fluorine. Because of fluorine accumulation, calcium accumulate होने लगता है, and calcium accumulate होने की वजह से joints will become stiff. That is skeletal fluorosis. Dental caries में teeth are essentially being degraded. So that is about fluorine. Then there is copper. Copper जो है, your body, healthy human body has about 100 milligrams of copper in it. Okay, throughout your body. It is distributed in liver, brain, kidneys, heart, bone, muscle, hair. All of this will have some amount of copper. Now, copper is the most important function of copper is that is responsible for synthesis of hemoglobin. If copper level is very low, hemoglobin synthesis will not be proper. Okay. Uh, this is mainly because फेरोक्सीडेज बोल के एक एंजाइम रहता. So the protein that transports copper is called ceruloplasmin. The protein that is transporting copper throughout your blood and all is called ceruloplasmin. It will have copper in it. Ceruloplasmin acts as a peroxidase. ये फेरोक्सिडेज का काम क्या है? It will convert ferrous form of iron to ferric. आपकी hemoglobin में ये form रहता, ferric form रहता. What you eat and what you absorb is ferrous form. So this conversion of ferrous to ferric is very very important for normal function and synthesis of hemoglobin. Without peroxidase or without ceruloplasmin, you cannot have this conversion, and that will lead to hypoferemia. Essentially, there will be less amounts of ferric ions and that will lead to hypoferemia. Hypoferemia की वजह से heme development बराबर नहीं होता. There will be heme developing anemia in a patient. So this is happening in copper deficiency. If there is deficiency of copper, that will lead to less amount or decrease synthesis of ceruloplasmin. Ceruloplasmin कम होने की वजह से ferrous form is not converted into ferric form of iron. Whatever you eat, आपके खाने में जो iron रहता, that is generally in ferrous form. That ferrous form needs to be converted in your body into ferric form for it to be used in hemoglobin. ठीक है? This ferric form will go and form hemoglobin. अगर ceruloplasmin नहीं रहा, that ceruloplasmin essentially will act as an enzyme here. It will act as an oxidizing agent. Okay, specifically, what it will do is it will oxidize iron molecule, and because it is oxidizing iron molecule, it will get converted from ferrous form to ferric form, which is taking part in hemoglobin synthesis. Ceruloplasmin requires copper. अगर कॉपर नहीं है, सेल्यूलोप्लाज्मिन ना रहता, सेल्यूलोप्लाज्मिन नहीं है, ये कन्वर्जन नहीं होता. Hemoglobin synthesis is negatively affected, leading to anemia. So that is another important function of this thing, copper. Now coming to the dietary sources, you will find this in animal meat, animal organs, liver, kidney. You'll find it in cereals, egg yolk, nuts, little amount in green leafy vegetables as well. You can use milk, but milk is a very poor source of copper. उतना ज़्यादा नहीं रहता copper उसमें. Now, coming to other deficiency disorders, one I told you it can cause anemia, deficiency disorder of copper. One is that it can cause anemia directly because ferric ions are not being formed and synthesis of hemoglobin will not occur. Heme developing anemia hota usme. It mainly occurs because of severe deficiency of copper. Other than that, it can cause neonatal ataxia. Neonatal ataxia is when neonates are not able to coordinate their movements. They will not be able to walk for a very long period of time. Okay? Even as they age, they'll not be able to walk. They'll not be able to coordinate their muscles, and they'll not be able to coordinate their movement altogether. Other than that, elastin formation is impaired. Elastin is a very very important connective tissue. अगर elastin formation नहीं हो रहा तो आपके blood vessels weak हो जाते, multiple skeletal tissue and multiple tissue in your body will become weaker if elastin is not produced. Elastin formation is impaired in case of deficiency of copper. So those are the three main deficiency disorders. Sometimes copper deficiency can also cause myocardial fibrosis. Myocardial fibrosis mainly seen in cows though, not in humans as much. Right. Then there is another problem called copper deficiency anemia. Copper deficiency anemia may, because hemoglobin is not, the disease itself is called कॉपर डेफिशिएंसी एनीमिया, कॉपर डेफिशिएंसी एनीमिया, ये एक प्रॉब्लम है। इसके अलावा it can cause serious problems, cardiovascular diseases. As I told you, elastin formation is not occurring properly, because of which the walls of your blood vessels, especially major blood vessels, will become very weak, and as a result a patient can have aneurysms. Aneurysms are essentially, आपका normal blood vessel ऐसा रहना ना, if this part of the blood vessel, let's suppose, becomes weak, imagine this part of the blood vessel has become weak, generally bilateral रहता, ठीक है, if it becomes weak, this blood vessel will start looking like this now. Because of the pressure of blood, that part of the blood vessel is bulging out, that is called an aneurysm. This is because of elastin, lack of elastin. अगर elastin present नहीं है तो several areas in your blood vessel will become weak, and as a result, blood will essentially cause it to bulge. Aneurysm होने का chance रहता, and this aneurysm can rupture, it can break apart, and when it breaks it will cause hemorrhage, especially aorta में बहुत common है एनिरिज्म होना, अगर elastin बराबर present नहीं है तो. Other than that, copper deficiency can also lead to hypopigmentation, and in extreme cases you will see gray hair. Okay, this is because melanin will not be produced properly. Copper is necessary for formation of melanin. अगर melanin present नहीं है तो generally you will see discoloration of a patient's hair. So grayish discoloration of hair might occur. Now, on the other hand, you can also have copper toxicity, excessive copper consumption. Because of whatever reason, there will be toxic manifestations of copper. So toxic manifestations क्या है? Patient को diarrhea होता, they will have bluish green discoloration of saliva. So their saliva will become bluish green in color. उसके अलावा copper poisoning may cause hemolysis, it will cause breakdown of RBCs, it will cause hemoglobinuria, it will cause proteinuria, and it can lead to renal failure as well. Kidneys will fail, their function will not occur properly at all. There will be severe damage to your kidneys in case of copper toxicity. Now, coming to one of the most important trace elements, you have iron. Iron जो है, it is present in almost all cells throughout your body. You'll find a little bit of iron present throughout your body, in almost every cell of your body. If you take the total amount of iron in your body, it is about 3 to 5 grams, the total amount of iron in your body. And the biochemical function of iron, obviously the first function will be formation of hemoglobin, most important function, hemoglobin and myoglobin, through which oxygen and carbon dioxide are being transported. It is also responsible for normal function of multiple enzymes, and it has immunocompetence, meaning it is responsible for normal immunity. If a person has iron deficiency, उनके अंदर उनकी those people will not have normal immunity. They are more susceptible to infections in case of iron deficiency. Now, on an average, an adult man requires about 10 milligrams per day, 10 milligrams of iron per day. Adult female will be somewhere around the same 12, 13 rata. Menstruating women will need slightly more. Menstruating women will need 18 mg per day. If it is a pregnant or lactating woman, then they will need about 40 milligrams per day. So as you can see, the amount is hugely different. Menstruating women से double रहता, pregnant and lactating women का, and adult men से 4 times ज़्यादा रहता. Now, good sources of iron obviously include iron, organ meats. Organ meats will be the best sources of iron that you can get. Organ meats like heart, liver, kidney. If you are able to eat that, that will be, the highest source of iron. Or else you can also use leafy vegetables, pulses, cereals, apples, fish, dried fruit, all of these are good sources of iron. Now, if we talk about transport of iron, how iron is being taken up by your cells. Now, the main component that is transferring and that is transporting iron in your blood is called, there is a protein present in your blood called transferrin, and that transferrin is responsible for movement of iron in your blood. Transferrin has a property called TIBC, total iron binding capacity, that is TIBC. Okay. TIBC will represent how many molecules of iron can one molecule of transferrin carry. On an average, a transferrin molecule can carry about two ferric ions. This can carry 2 ions of Fe3 plus. Okay. Throughout your, now you will have a lot of transferrin present in your blood. On an average, a normal human should have about 250 milligrams of transferrin per 100 ml of blood. In 100 ml of a person's blood, those any person should have about 250 milligrams of transferrin. And if you look at TIBC, a normal person's TIBC should be about 400 mg for 100 ml, meaning 100 ml of blood should be able to carry 400 mg of iron. ठीक है, आपके बॉडी में जो ब्लड है, ब्लड के अंदर देर इज आयरन कैरिंग कैपेसिटी. द मेन प्रोटीन दैट इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कैरिंग आयरन इज कॉल्ड ट्रांसफेरिन. ट्रांसफेरिन विल हैव द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ कैरिंग आयरन. ठीक है, सो दैट प्रॉपर्टी इज कॉल्ड TIBC, total iron binding capacity, how well it can bind to iron, and how well, if it is able to bind to iron, it is able to transfer that iron and transport that iron. So on an average, 100 ml of blood is able to carry about 400 milligrams of iron. Now, in patients who have iron deficiency anemia, in them generally both transferrin levels and TIBC levels will be increased. ठीक है, पेशेंट्स हु हैव आयरन डेफिशिएंसी अनीमिया, जिनके अंदर आयरन डेफिशिएंसी हो रही, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट anemia is occurring, in those patients transferrin amount and TIBC amount is generally higher. Transferrin is produced by your liver. So when patient have low amount of iron, your body will think that, see यहाँ पर कैसा हो रहा, how will your body know that there is low amount of iron? Generally, cells which are carrying iron and which need iron for various purposes are getting certain amount of iron from your transferrin. Okay? Fe3 plus is transporting this iron into cells, and later on that cell is performing its own function. अगर ये iron capacity कम हो गई, if this iron is not reaching your cells, your cell will think that, your cell will essentially inform your brain, I'm not getting enough amount of iron. Let us suppose that cell is telling your brain that I am not getting enough amount of iron. Your brain in turn will stimulate your liver. And liver, what it will do is, it will think, your brain is essentially thinking that there is not enough amount of transferrin, there is not enough amount of TIBC, not enough amount of iron binding capacity, because of which these cells are not getting iron. So what will happen is, because of iron deficiency, this will lead to higher amount of transferrin and higher TIBC. That is why patients who have IDA, iron deficiency anemia, उनके अंदर transferrin and TIBC दोनों high रहते हैं. Now, transferrin is generally stored in your body in the form of a protein called ferritin. ठीक है, you will find ferritin in mucosal cells, you will find ferritin in liver, spleen, bone marrow as well. Especially intestinal mucosal cells में ferritin बहुत ज़्यादा रहता. Now, ferritin is essentially, storing your iron, and later on, whenever that iron is being used up, whenever this ferritin is broken down, it will get converted into a product called hemosiderin. Whenever iron is being used up in your body, it will be used up in the form of ferritin. Ferritin is normally stored. वो iron को, whatever excess iron है, that iron whenever it is used, and ferritin whenever it is degraded, it will get converted into hemosiderin. ठीक है, some patients who have iron toxicity, they can have hemosidrosis. ठीक है, हेमोक्रोमेटोसिस बोल के एक कंडीशन रहता, जिसके अंदर patient is consuming excessively a high amount of iron, or they are having accumulation of iron. In those patients you will generally see that they are suffering from hemosidrosis. ठीक है. Normally what happens is most of the iron that is coming into your body will be conserved, it will not be thrown out. Very little amount of iron which is being consumed will be thrown off, only that which is unabsorbed. See, आपके iron का excretion जो है आपकी body में occurs through two ways. One way is that you are losing through bleeding. Now this is uncommon in normal people, but if in women it is common. Menstrual bleeding के through you can lose a lot of blood. ठीक है. So on an average, any lady up to the age of menopause, they can lose iron at a rate of about 1 milligram per day. On an average, average lady up to the age of menopause can lose about 1 milligram per day on the days of her menstrual cycle. ठीक है. On the days of shedding essentially. In men, this amount is much less. It is less than 0.5 mg. So essentially ये double रहा था इसका. ठीक है. They are losing a lot of iron through this thing. Almost no iron is excreted through urine. The iron will only be excreted, whatever unabsorbed iron is present, it will only be excreted through feces. And because iron is stored in intestinal cells, intestinal mucosal cells, intestinal mucosa जो है आपका mucosa which is lining your intestines from the inside, lumen के side पे, that will have iron. Now you know that these cells will get desquamated. There will be shedding of these cells and new cells will take their place. Now whenever these intestinal mucosal cells are being shed, those cells will lose iron. So that is another way through which this iron will essentially enter your feces. So या तो unabsorbed iron है आप जो खा रहे हैं, some amount which is being unabsorbed, not being absorbed by your intestine, वो excrete हो रहा feces में, या फिर जो intestinal mucosa की shedding हो रही है उसके through it is being thrown out of your body. Now what are the factors that can affect absorption of iron? Iron absorption is firstly affected by acidity. Acidity and vitamin C both. If iron is being given in acidic conditions, so essentially if there is how should I put it, let me put it this way, आपके stomach में acid रहता ना, your HCl which is present in your stomach is facilitating the absorption of iron. I can tell it in another way, if a patient has low amount of acid in their stomach, their iron absorbing capacity will decrease. ठीक है. Now in some patients who have peptic ulcer or some not peptic ulcer, let us suppose there is a person whose parietal cells have been damaged. ठीक है. There are people who have undergone gastrectomy, or in people who are suffering from achlorhydria. Essentially achlorhydria, eh, achlorhydria is a condition in which your body is not able to produce HCl, your stomach is not able to produce HCl. In these patients iron absorption will not occur properly at all. ठीक है. So acid is very important for iron absorption. So is vitamin C. Vitamin C क्या करता? Vitamin C is helping in conversion of ferrous form to ferric form. ठीक है. So it is helping in the absorption of iron as well. Generally patients who have anemia, उनके अंदर आप क्या करते हैं? You'll give iron, you'll give folic acid, vitamin C and vitamin E. All of these are given together. Folic acid and vitamin C, both of them increase the absorption of iron. Whatever unabsorbed iron is present, now out of 100 mg, let's suppose you are giving 100 mg of iron as a tablet, and you are giving 500 mg of folic acid as a tablet. Now in this combination, out of 100 mg, let us suppose 50 mg is not being absorbed. ठीक है. Only 15 mg is being absorbed and 50 mg is not being absorbed. Whatever is not absorbed, that will get converted into free radicals, and that free radical can cause damage to cells. ठीक है. Oxidative damage हो सकता है free radical से. So you will give vitamin E as an antioxidant agent. ठीक है. That is why patients who have anemia, especially severe anemia, iron deficiency anemia जो रहता, IDA, ये पेशेंट्स को स्पेशली जो डोज मैं बोला था आपको, मैं प्रेग्नेंट औरतों का बोला था. सो जनरली दे विल बी गिवन 100 mg ऑफ आयरन प्लस 500 mg of folic acid plus vitamin C plus vitamin E. Now, iron is getting absorbed with the help of folic acid and vitamin C. Let us suppose out of this 100 mg, only 50 mg gets absorbed, meaning 50 mg is being remained. That 50 mg can get converted into free radicals, which can cause cell damage. That free radical will be countered by vitamin E. The vitamin E that you are giving, it will act as an antioxidant and it will counter the effects of this free radical. Okay. Now, some other factors that are influencing absorption of iron. Uh, if a patient has iron deficiency anemia, उनके अंदर absorbing capacity बहुत बढ़ जाती. Their absorbing capacity is about 2 to 10 times more than normal. Some drugs can interfere with the absorption of iron. There is, let us suppose your diet is very very high in phosphates. If you consume very high amount of phosphate, उनके अंदर iron absorption decreases. ठीक है. tea and eggs, both of them decrease iron absorption. So there is a common notion that after having food, it is beneficial to drink tea, but it is not exactly very beneficial because let us suppose you had lunch, and in that lunch, the total amount of iron which was present in that lunch, let us suppose, was about 10 milligrams. Okay. Imagine you had some green leafy vegetable, you had something for lunch, whatever you had. Okay. After having lunch, let us suppose you immediately drink tea. Okay. What will happen is, especially the Indian tea, the tannic acid which is present, tannic acid जो present रहता tea के अंदर, that will complex with iron, and that complex will not be able to absorb through your intestines. As a result, what will happen is iron is not getting absorbed. That will be so severe that almost 80% of iron which you have consumed through your food will not be absorbed. Meaning, let us suppose आप खाने में 10 mg, whatever you ate had 10 mg of iron, 8 mg will be lost as is. You are only able to absorb, or you are only able to use 2 mg. So never have tea immediately after eating. Wait for a little while, 2 hours or something like that, 1.5 2 hours before your, you know, food is moving around till your intestine and absorption through your intestine has started. That is when you can have tea. You cannot immediately. Eggs B. If you eat eggs, it will not be as severe as tea, but it will affect iron absorption. It will decrease iron absorption to a certain degree. Okay. If a patient is having copper deficiency, उनके अंदर भी iron absorption कम हो जाता है. Copper helps in absorption of iron. So if a patient is having copper deficiency, उनके अंदर भी iron absorption is negatively affected. Now, to find iron deficiency anemia, if a patient is suffering from iron deficiency anemia, there are two ways. One is you can directly check serum iron levels. You can check the total amount of iron present in the patient's blood. Okay. It is generally low in case of iron deficiency, or if the patient has chronic infections, hypothyroidism, kwashiorkor, ये पूरों में iron level कम रहता. या फिर you can check for TIBC. If a patient has high TIBC, it will generally indicate that they are having iron deficiency anemia. ठीक है. Sometimes it is also elevated in hepatitis and pregnancy. ठीक है. Hepatitis में transferrin levels बढ़ जाते, तो TIBC might be higher, but in general it is, if serum iron and TIBC both are high, then you with other symptoms as well. IDA के थोड़े specific symptoms रहते. Iron deficiency anemia के symptoms include apathy. Apathy is, those people will be uninterested in their surroundings. They will be completely uninterested in the surroundings altogether. They will not be interested in what is happening around. Like, even if it is an emergency condition, I'm not telling that they are minding their own business. For example, let us suppose there is a fire in their house. They will not care about it. So that level of uh, loss of interest will be categorized as apathy. Or they'll become very sluggish, especially their metabolic processes will become sluggish. They'll become weak, they'll become lethargic. uh, in adults, generally their work capacity will decrease. They'll not be able to work for as long period of time. Okay. Anemia and apathy generally go hand in hand. ये along with low iron, low iron and high TIBC will indicate a patient has IDA, iron deficiency anemia. Now, to treat iron deficiency anemia, you can give iron supplement along with folic acid, vitamin C, and vitamin E. ये तीनों तीनों चारों का combination देते. If you are giving it in a pregnant lady, you use 100 mg of iron plus 500 mg folic acid. If you are giving it in a child, it is almost 5 times less. This is in a child. ठीक है. Combine this with vitamin C and vitamin E. Now, generally, deficiency of iron होता कैसा? If a patient is having deficiency of iron, they might have some other associated problem. One is directly they are not eating enough amount of iron in their food. There is very less amount of iron, so nutritional deficiency. Yeah? Or else there might be lack of absorption. So, for example, let us suppose the patient has achlorhydria or hyperchlorhydria. Yeah, if they have undergone gastrectomy, ठीक है, or if they have peptic ulcer, ये पूरे conditions में their iron absorption will be decreased. ठीक है, that can lead to iron deficiency. Sometimes hookworm infection, अगर intestine में hookworm infection हुआ तो that hookworm will essentially start drinking blood. It will start absorbing blood from your intestines, and generally if there is a hookworm infestation, there will be a lot of worms. Almost 300 worms will be present in the intestine, so they will remove almost 1% of your total iron per day. 1% of total iron that is present in your body will be removed per day. Repeated pregnancies, that can lead to iron deficiency. If a patient has chronic blood loss by peptic ulcer or by hemorrhoids, or because of whatever reason, if there is blood loss, that can lead to iron deficiency. Lead poisoning can lead to iron deficiency. So all of these are problems that are associated with iron and deficiency of iron. Now on the flip side, there can be excessive iron as well. उसको iron toxicity बोलते हैं. Iron toxicity generally appears as hemosidrosis. बहुत ज़्यादा आयरन स्टोर होने लगता है. लॉट ऑफ आयरन इज बीइंग स्टोर्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ फेरेटिन, एंड लॉट ऑफ आयरन that a lot of ferritin molecule will be broken down and it will be converted into hemosiderin. That hemosiderin will be present like granules, and wherever this hemosiderin granules are being accumulated, they will cause accordingly that kind of damage. So those cells will die essentially wherever hemosiderin is depositing. So for example, let us suppose hemosiderin starts getting accumulated in liver. It will cause cirrhosis, irreversible liver damage. If it is occurring in pancreas, it will cause diabetes. Okay. If it is getting deposited in skin, it will cause yellowish brown discoloration. Skin will become yellowish brown in color, bronze in color almost. And there is a triad of symptoms. Three symptoms will appear. Patient will have cirrhosis, hemochromatosis, and diabetes. This is called bronze diabetes. ब्रॉन्ज डायबिटीज में एक पेशेंट को they already have very high amount of iron, consumption is very high, or their serum levels are very high, and they will have hemochromatosis, which is excessively high amount of iron in their blood. They will have hemosidrosis, hemosiderin granules will start accumulating in their organs, and they will have bronze discoloration. They will have yellowish brown colored skin. This is called bronze diabetes. They will all have a diabetes as well because their pancreas are getting damaged. So that is about iron in general. Now coming to the next element, we have iodine. Now the most significant effect of iodine and the most important feature of iodine is formation of T3 and T4, thyroid hormones. Without iodine, thyroid hormones cannot be formed, thyroxine and triiodothyronine. On an average, an adult needs about 100 to 150 micrograms of iron per day, mcg per day. Yeah, mcg, micro, it is also written like this, microgram per day. ठीक है. Pregnant women will need about 200. Okay. On an average, you will find iodine in seafood, good source of iodine. Seafood में रहता, drinking water में रहता, vegetables, fruits, ठीक है. Especially fruits that grow near the seaboard, near the sea, जो भी fruits grow होते, उसमें अच्छा amount of iron रहता. High altitudes are generally deficient in iron. ठीक है. Water, soil, all of them will have lower amount of iron if you are going higher up the altitude. So in mountain regions or hilly regions, वहाँ पर iron content कम रहता. Now, if there is deficiency of iodine, generally patients will have a problem in their thyroid, and that thyroid gland will get enlarged. That condition where enlargement of thyroid gland occurs is called goiter. Okay, this is the most common problem. Agar you are able to treat this problem early, that size of the thyroid will become normal. Goiter is essentially enlargement of the thyroid gland. Okay, under the neck, the thyroid gland will essentially enlarge a lot, and it will appear like a big bump. If you are able to treat it in time, that enlargement will go away. If you are not treating in time and the treatment is delayed, that enlargement of the gland will persist. It will stay the same size. In case of children, agar iodine deficiency ho rahi, it will cause retardation of growth. Growth and development will be retarded. Because because thyroid gland and thyroid hormones are responsible for multiple functions in your body, making sure BMR is normal, making sure heart is working properly, GIT is working properly, digestion is working properly, reproductive organs are working properly. If there is a decrease in iodine, all of those functions will also occur. Essentially the patient will have hypothyroidism. Okay, so that is about some of the important trace elements. You have a few more, actually multiple more, but uh, again, they're just like facts, so they don't need explanation as such. I'm not going to go into details of there. There are almost 15 16 trace elements. पूरे आप it'll be the same, it'll be very boring in just stating facts. ये थोड़े complicated थे तो I explained them, but the rest you can read on your own. It is not really that hard to understand. The only thing that you have to remember from these are uh, what will happen in case of deficiency, what will happen in case of toxicity, and what is the importance, what is the normal function of these trace elements. ये तीन भी याद रख लिया तो आप हर एक trace element का बस है. ठीक है. So with that we have essentially